Hello and welcome to another week of my live show. I'm Stephen Englander and this is Between the Spreadsheets and we're going out live. And I'd like to reintroduce my associate, what would we call you? Full dog, fascist, anti-Semitic,
we're
Nazi,
already there, are we?
incompetent. Graham,
I fixed your internet,
do you know something? We've had a lot of trouble today with the internet. We've had staff upstairs all bundling together to sort of get into the internet because we've changed our internet provider. It's not just we have a leased line because we've got so much download stuff both for the studio and for the accountancy practice. And it's been murdered because we've got a new firm in because we hate Virgin, because we've had nothing but trouble with Virgin. They're so expensive. And we've got a new firm called Infinitytel, who were great. They're cheaper. We've got 3 times the bandwidth and they've been a pleasure, but somehow it didn't work very well when we transitioned. You know,
it's been very stressful.
So Graham, being the only person that actually knows the core of what's wrong with the internet and what things mean, has managed to sort out the problem for us. What was the problem? No. Okay. All right.
Do you want me to relive the entire nightmare of what's going on
It has
upstairs?
been. Do you know what's the most fun is watching you scream at them down the phone. But no. The I know there's always things going wrong, wasn't there? And despite all of this, and despite his severe hypochondria, we've still managed to get 3 pages of notes for me to talk about tonight. And Graham's been saying I rush things and I need to breathe so we can pause different subjects. So let me just
enjoy.
Do you know I had a call before off a friend. He says to me, we should get into the banking business. And I said, well, we're in the accountancy business, bookkeeping. He says, yeah, but we could offer a client's bank account services. And I'm thinking, right, we set up our own accounts direct bank on piggybacking on neo-banking. Be good, wouldn't it?
Let's do it.
And I'm saying, well, what's involved? Because I don't know anything about it. So we need people that know about it that can guide us. And he's saying, well, we need to put £150,000 down, and then we need to prove we've got £35 million in assets. So I said, oh, okay, I'll ask my dad. But apparently he's already got someone interested in working with us like that. Can you imagine a Accounts Direct Bank? Would you like a bank account? I wouldn't give you a bank account, Graham.
Well, I was excited until you mentioned the 35 million in assets.
I wouldn't give you a bank account.
I've got 3 fish, mate.
You've brought up to me, because it's in the news at the moment with Diana, Princess Diana, who unfortunately died. What is it, 25 years ago now?
No, the film, the interview with her. So yeah, it's it is.
Yeah,
because she died a year after the interview, didn't she? So yeah.
Do you know I actually went to Paris once, and I was actually near where she died, and there was a plaque there, and it was quite sad, really.
Do you know what I was doing?
I don't not when people are watching.
I was handing out Bibles.
Really?
At the when I found out she was dead, and it was just like that moment.
But you know, it's been in the news because what's his name? Martin Bashir. He was the guy that interviewed her, wasn't he? And he brought her onto he conned her. Really, that's what they're saying, isn't it? He conned her into into the interview.
He was only a junior at the BBC. He lied to her about his position and everything.
Wow. And it's what people will do to get into the papers. But it was all about a bank statement, wasn't it?
Yes.
He showed a bank statement to prove transactions.
With a brother, so that to create the impression that he had a relationship with the family.
Yeah, financial relationship, and
the interesting thing is that came out a year after, but the BBC has only just now admitted fault.
Yeah, well,
they're very good at that, aren't they?
Well, they probably haven't. They're probably only recently converted to internet, and maybe they're still waiting for the post to arrive because the post, things went missing in the post. It might be that. But you know what confuses me? If he had to prove by showing Diana a bank statement to say that he really knew her brother, why didn't she just give her brother a ring, give brother was Charles, wasn't it, Charles Spencer? Why didn't she just phone him and say, Charles, do you know this guy? He wants to do an interview with me. He wants me to really pull the royal family down and talk about.
I've got this fella here. He wants me to go on the BBC and talk about the affair I had. Do you know him?
Yeah, but I don't. But it's just there's so much with people in power. I mean, I wouldn't challenge people in power because you never know when it comes back to bite you.
Don't mess with a queen.
Don't mess with anyone. I am so respectable to everybody. I'm always nice. I'm always just be respectful. Don't do anything wrong. I know you've been trying to talk me out of that way, but that's me. But no, seriously, there's so many people out there in the business world that are faking so much, and they create this atmosphere to draw you in, don't they? There's so much corruption. I think sometimes all I say is that you can't really fend off this corruption. Just don't listen to it. Just don't really get involved with. I mean, take with a pinch of salt what you hear in the press. Take a pinch of salt with everything, and if things look too good to be true, just leave it alone. I know I keep getting badgered all the time with these big deals, and I hate it. I think it's like, look, you run a fish and chip shop. Why would someone come along and say, do you want to do this deal worth £27 million in, I don't know, chewing gum? It's all in India at the moment, or Nigeria or somewhere. Why would just be aware? Sometimes the real thing is not even falling for the scam. It's all the time you waste running around after it instead of focusing on your core business.
I tell you what, though.
Yeah.
What is the lesson to be learnt here? Either don't mess around, don't lie, because they will catch you.
Yeah.
Or you'll be on a cushy salary at the BBC for the next 25 years. So by the time they chuck you out, it's basically healthy retirement.
Well, I'll never be on a cushy number with the BBC or anybody else. I've got to turn up for work, and I've got to look for clients. I've got to.
You turned up in the Batmobile today, mate. Don't you start making out like you've got some hard thing going on here. Oh, poor Stephen.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant
my pants on one leg at the other, just like you.
That's not nice. Right, okay. But talking about scams, okay. There are a lot of scams, and they seem to be getting worse and worse. So how do you protect yourself? I mean, the first thing is be realistic. Why they're coming to you? Is it in relation to your normal business? Just don't get caught out in this nonsense. Sometimes you look at the grammar and the spelling within the email that you've got, and you think, some Nigerian prince offering me £20 million in all rights, and I only have to send him £500 sounds very reasonable. But when they can't speak English properly and they can't spell things properly, maybe they'd be a bit more sophisticated than that. But even so, you can go and have a look at the domain name. Just click on the name that the email's coming from and see if it sounds something good, and maybe even look them up. But the best thing to do is just carry on running your business as your business should be run. What is that okay with you? Should I take a breath now and move on to the next subject? Or?
Right. Let's take a moment. Right. Stephen, that was wonderful.
2, 3. Okay, so now we're on to, what's the next one you've got? Great British Railways. So this is interesting, isn't it? Because now what's going on here is that there's a bit of price fixing by the government, isn't it?
Well,
that was what you were whinging about before? We
already have that with Network Rail. It's not like the government already influences the prices of tickets. It's just there's so many deals done and all the rest of it. And currently, we're in a situation where empty trains go between Manchester and London all day long.
Right.
They pay to get air down there. So the solution is more government control. A new thing called GBR that's going to be above even Network Rail. Yeah. They're going to do the fares. They're going to do the maintenance on the tracks, and they're going to do the timetables. The private part of it will be who runs the actual trains.
Yeah, but the government will fix the prices.
They're going to fix everything.
It sounds a bit off that, isn't it? Government interference with fixing prices. And being a pure-hearted capitalist, you'd think I'd be against that. But I actually think that some sectors, some industries, do need fixing prices. I think too much. I think the free market is great, but I think sometimes there needs to be some balance, and I don't think that certain services should be open to that type of competition. I don't think it always does things any good. I'm still out on. Do you remember years ago when books were the prices were fixed? And now you can sell books for any price that you want. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with books.
I've heard of the concept. Yeah.
But the idea was to protect the authors and the creative talents out there, and so they fixed the price of books. But now they can sell what they want and at any price. I remember that the supermarkets came in and started having all these discounted books. I mean, I think the market balanced up on that, because I think that a lot of the rubbish sold in the supermarkets didn't quite have the same impact as the books in the proper stores like Waterstones, and so I think the market did did catch up on that. But something as important as a national infrastructure, I'm not so sure whether competition is the right way to
I have a slight agreement with you.
Only slight.
But only in the sense that either nationalise it or privatise it.
Well, they've tried that.
We've never done either in this country.
Didn't they privatise the train companies years ago?
Did they?
Did they not?
Well, Network Rail's still been responsible for the.
Because normally what they do when something's failing, they sell it off, and when it's doing well, they try and nationalise it.
Well, they outsourced parts of it, so they licensed running certain trains on certain tracks. But that isn't privatised. No. It's
actually, it just reminds me a bit of pubs and petrol stations.
Go on.
Well, when they're doing well, the breweries and the petrol companies put managers in, and when it's not doing so well, they franchise them out or sell them off, and they treat them terribly, treat the tenants terribly. But no, we're not talking about a pub here. But we're talking about a national facility, and now that everything's interconnected online, I think we need stronger interconnection physically, and the movement of goods and movement of services. What was what I was going to say? There's a little bit away from this, just a marketing trick.
Okay.
Right.
I'll
if
call
you're
you
selling,
in a minute.
Okay, if you're selling the same product to different people, how do you capitalise on it? How do you get different rates? I mean, how would you, if you've got a train service, quite obvious really, when you think about it, but you're going from Manchester to Liverpool, how do you charge one person more than another? How do you increase prices? Well, you can go first class, second class, or where I go, which is in storage. You know, and that way you can sometimes you can just put a pillowcase on one of them, not a pillowcase, a cover on the chair.
the little fluffy thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And that's how you increase your prices, and everybody can do that in a day-to-day life. So I thought I'd just turn that around to a little business advice. So, okay.
You see, this dependence on the government disgusts me, Stephen.
The dependence on the government.
Do you know, if it was for people like you,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have GMT, we wouldn't have standardised time across the world.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
when the private industry introduced trains to the world in this city...
If it was up to people like you, we'd be in a fascist German state.
Oh, really?
With more hating everybody
well, trains
that isn't born in England.
really well before the government took over.
What did?
So well that it's the reason why we have time zones across the world the way we do.
Is it? Did you just start all that just to tell me that? That has nothing to do with it.
No. This is it. And you put it onto the government, they mess it up every time. Either make it private or make it public. Don't do this halfway nonsense. Or we'll have the rails, we'll set the prices, we'll set the timetable, but private companies will run the
Why aren't you in government?
Nonsense.
Seriously, why are you in government? I'd vote for you. Except that voting Nazi doesn't go well.
No.
Anyway, I'm bored. Honestly, I'm just...
You're bored?
Let's move on to something...
You're bored with the truth, that's what it is, isn't it?
What's the truth? It's a relative term. But let's move on to something really interesting, which is inheritance tax. What do you think? Do you like inheritance tax?
I don't really live in the world where that's much of a concern, to be honest.
You know, in this day and age...
I haven't seen my dad for years.
Well, with this day and age...
I miss your dad.
You miss my dad?
I miss everyone's dad at this point. I'll cling on to any dad I can find.
Oh. Is it that you don't speak to him or you don't know him?
Well, I do speak to him, but I don't know him.
You just have loads of uncles?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to go by what Hayden said. Oh, Hayden, how are you doing with your Bitcoin?
Hayden said.
How do you do? How's your Bitcoin doing?
My Bitcoin is doing quite well. Our Shiba Inu is doing very badly indeed.
Do you know, 3 of us decided to invest in this new cryptocurrency. So we put £100 each in, and we're doing very well because now it's down to half that. so we're thinking.
To be fair though, Stephen,
yeah,
that does seriously outperform any of your previous experiments in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting involved in crypto. Do you know what we could do? We could go around the world and buy cryptocurrency and then just have a chart showing which one, have a bet going.
Steve,
really,
we don't have to go around the world.
No, we can stay. I meant on computers going around the world, and every cryptocurrency that comes up, we can buy some, and then we can measure each week which ones are losing money at the fastest rate. Don't buy cryptocurrency. Just
where you get people recommending crypto.
Oh, like you did to me.
We can just tell them to watch us
Yeah.
And whatever we buy, buy
don't.
something else.
Yeah, we could do. Actually, we could have a chart of how much money we're losing every week on cryptocurrency.
Hey, I'm not losing anything.
You want in on that, don't you?
No, no, I'm more than capable of wasting all my money on women.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's true.
I'm good.
Yeah, true. Inheritance tax.
Buy on the dick.
Inheritance tax, because after what we've gone through the last couple of years, unfortunately, the worries about what happens if anything happens to us. What do we leave our kids? What do we leave our family? And we do not want big portions of that going in tax. So just bear in mind that you can gift money to your kids or whoever you want, and as long as you survive 7 years, they won't pay any tax on that. So, and it sort of starts off, if you, year one, you have to pay 100% of the tax. Year two, it's balanced every year. The amount of tax that you have to pay, the percentage reduces for 7 years, and in year 7 you don't have to pay anything. So if you don't think you're going to live if you think you're going to live more than 7 years, then gift it. You can give £3,000 a year away, and then you can carry forward that for only 1 year. So the most you can give is £6,000 without paying tax on it. But if you do have any, here's my plug, because we are a commercial organisation. If you do want to talk about inheritance tax, and you do want to talk about various policies and various things you can do to cut that type of bill down, do let me know, and we can give you some proper advice. That was my inheritance tax bit out of the way, wasn't it? We're going to do the quote of the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Graham came up with me before, and he just, because he writes things down, and he said, I'm looking at the quote of the day, and the quote of the day is good. That's it. And it's by a guy called Jocko Willink. And I thought, what do you mean good? And anyway, I looked him up, and we've got a little TED talk. It's only 2 minutes. And I thought, this guy looked like a thug, but he's actually brilliant. And he's my new hero. So I thought I'd just play this for you. So just tell me what you think.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah, when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
I thought that was quite inspiring. I think he's a very interesting guy. He was, obviously, as you can see, is some sort of commando. He's a literature graduate. We're going to get him on the show.
Whoa,
so stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you when he's going to come on, but we've got him on the show. Graham, you've done a great job there.
What? No,
No, but seriously, I like what he said. It's all good, and it's the type of thing I would like to preach. And if we had skilled media people here, we could get get our show as good as that. But, you know, we're trying. It's, you know, you pay peanuts, I suppose. We were talking about UK inflation before, it jumping. It's sort of like doubled in April. And Graham was very worried because he had to pay a bit more from Osbar. But the thing is, I wouldn't panic anyone. I don't think inflation is going to double. I don't think it's going to go much higher. I think the worry is that people have been not trading for so long that they need to recover some of that money. So prices will probably hike, but natural competition, natural balances and checks will bring everything back to normal. In fact, I believe there's a new store coming in from somewhere to compete with Aldi that is even cheaper. There's I forgot. I don't think it's German. It's coming. I think it's Russian. I think there's a new Russian load of stores opening or coming over. No, seriously.
Trying to connect with the common man, are you? Trying to remember what cheap shops are called?
I used to have cheap shops. I used to have discount shops.
That was a long time ago, Stephen.
Yeah.
Lots changed since then.
Not really, but I think prices are going to, especially in the hospitality sector. I mean, it's not fair. You walk into a restaurant, which I haven't yet, and they've now got a smaller space to sell from because everybody's spaced out more. Can't get staff, so they're going to have to pay more, and prices are going to go up. So do be prepared.
That's the thing at the moment with the restrictions. For example, you're not allowed to go to the bar to order a drink. You have to be. So you need more staff. There's more staff. Yeah. Whereas you used to just have 2. Now you've got 8.
Yeah, it's just something we're going to have to live with. Prices have gone up. Everything's going to go up. But I don't think it's. There will be the odd restaurant, the odd bar, the odd business, the odd shop that will fleece people and get far more prices. But it's prices have got to go up because a lot more expenses, cost of living's going up, minimum wage is going up, everything's going up all the time, and we've got a lot to recover from. So that's just my thing about inflation.
Right. I want to ask you something if you don't mind.
Oh, God, 9 inches. Sorry, different question. Different question, isn't it?
No, right. I've spent a lot of time here, and it's odd because I'm sitting in on more and more meetings and everything. And for anyone who doesn't know, we are actually in an accountancy firm right now.
Yeah.
And it's full of bookkeepers and all the rest of it. And they're constantly hammered. But I still don't understand, genuinely, if you're a small business, why you'd have an accountant. Like, why bother? If everything's online and you can just do it, why are people giving you a ring? Genuinely.
I think the first answer is that people associate accountants and bookkeepers with keeping things ready for the taxman. So HMRC, whether it's VAT or corporation tax or personal tax or national insurance. And I think people associate accountants with keeping the tax bill down and complying with legislation, because there's some really tough legislation now. And there's so many penalties if people don't get it right. It's even different from last year. And you've even got to file things in a certain way, and you've got to provide even digital copies of every invoice in and out of your business and explanations of all your transactions, because for some reason HMRC don't seem to trust anybody. But that's the first thing that I think accountants associated with tax and VAT and generally complying with what HMRC say to do.
Right, okay. So I get you, especially in terms of changing rules and things like that.
Oh, they're tightening up all the time, yeah. So, but then it extends, because then some people are in trouble because they've not obeyed the law. So we have to straighten them out. It's better that an accountant straightens out people's paperwork rather than the tax people straighten out the paperwork. So we can provide explanations and we can get things done that way. But
you've just explained a few of the meetings that I've been party to. People just coming in going, "Oh Jesus!"
I know, and they've got a black bin bag full of paper, and then we've got to scan everything. But it's fine. That's what we're here for. But the other thing which I prefer, once people aren't in the shit anymore and we've got them straightened out so everything's routine and regular, I like working with companies to help develop the business. And in every industry, there's skills and there's tips and there's things that we know that a lot of clients don't know. And it's a way of developing the business and make it more efficient. So if you can earn £100 without the stress that it takes traditionally to earn £100 and without the aggravation and without the time it takes, or you can earn £100 Whereas before you were earning £50 just because you improve your efficiency, then that's what accountants are really good at. They're good at measuring things. They're good at accounting for things. And, you know, a decent accountant will explain where they call it a SWOT. They call it strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats that are facing a business. And if we can identify where you are in all these levels, where clients are, then we can improve their businesses without them actually spending a lot more money. You know, we can highlight peaks and troughs. We can highlight products which are worth selling and where the profit's coming from, as opposed to things we like selling but don't actually make any money. You know, we can. Today I was having a conversation with somebody about cash. That cash is disappearing, and a lot of companies don't want to take cash.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot at the moment.
But it can be a good thing because it makes things far more visible. You know, I lost a lot of money when I had my shops in staff thieving and customers thieving cash, and there was always that danger of going to the bank with bundles of cash. So, you know, an accountant can help you straighten these things out a lot more and look for dangers within your business. It goes way beyond complying with legislation, complying with tax. In fact, where we start from, the starting point for any accountant is to make sure your paperwork is right and obeys the law. You know, that's where it starts from. But once we've got that, then we can use that information to help achieve what you want to do. We always say, where are you? And we measure that on accounts, you know, and then we say, where do you want to be? And then we can set a plan of action in money terms.
Yeah, that's what I've been sat in on,
Yeah. It does work. I'm not bullshitting here. It's the way it is. Yeah. So I don't tend to talk to people where paperwork's a mess and all over the place. I sort of say, yeah, how are you? Da, 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 da. And then the team upstairs put it right, and then our accountants and business managers will then discuss what next. But there's no point me talking to somebody when the paperwork's all over the place because I don't know what to say to them.
Well, it'd be a bit weird if the fella that owned the place was.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
but that's fine. That's what I miss from not being here through furlough. But basically, the not furlough, lockdown.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, what we've got are people that are. It's not that I don't want to talk to anybody about their business. What I want to do is have the facts and figures in front of me via their accounts or the ledgers and say, right, this is where we are. And then you can have a conversation. Telling someone, we need your paperwork, we need this, we need that, is really not productive for me to be involved in that. I just have to say, look, go and speak to Chev, go and speak to Kirsty, go and speak to John, and they will sort you out, and then we can do the proper stuff. But, you know, the part of accounting I like is actually the business development or seeing a business go from there to there. That's it. Or even if they are in trouble, move them out of that trouble into where they should be.
Yeah, I know. That's most of the people I know that are involved with accountants is because they've moved country and they didn't realise they had to pay tax in the old country and they're like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So all that sort of nonsense. Like,
well, that's something we can have that's just a lot of people don't really understand, and they hear sort of stories in the pub about what they can and can't do. And I don't think that's what we should be.
You've opened my eyes up to it though. I'm seeing it because it's like you like anything, isn't it? Like I've got this phone. Yeah. I pay a certain amount of money every month for this phone because I know it's going to make me way more. Yeah. And it's a similar sort of setup, isn't it? You're paying. You know. Well,
you're paying us. Are you paying any accountant? First and foremost, to keep the records straight because the government says it's got to be straight. But taking the assumption, the truth, that bad paperwork is bad business is where a decent accountant will jump from. The job doesn't end when the books are right. The job begins when the books are right.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that. I just want to make more money. That's it. Like as long as
well, some people just want the business. They want less hassle. Yeah. Not everybody wants to make more money. I mean, it's a silly thing to say because people do, but a lot of people want an easier. That's why our bang it in a box says bang it in a box, and you can have more time in bed and more time doing more useful things like than bookkeeping.
I like being in bed.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine you do.
On my own though, like, you know.
Why are you dancing? Anyway.
Did you just ask me, another human being, why I'm dancing?
Why are you dancing?
Why would you bring that tone to me like that, man? Try and destroy my love of life?
Because we're talking about important things like
yeah,
accountancy,
I'm
and
happy.
not a love of life. If you want love of life, don't be an accountancy practice.
Well, okay, well, I won't do any of the bookkeeping then.
You were,
You were up there today with them, weren't you?
with upstairs.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's nice
And you were
sometimes.
impressed.
No,
You
it's
were like,
nice. It's
"Bloody
nice
hell."
sometimes because you go up when you're not around, you think what's going on, and then when you go up and you hear how efficient everybody is and how capable they are. It's nice. It's and you know what's nice about upstairs? I just found out that two of the lads that work upstairs that only met through us, they're getting a flat together. I mean, they're not together. I mean, they might be, but they're not. But I thought that was quite nice because everybody gels quite well.
Yeah, no, that's good.
They often go out for a drink. They never invite me, but this is such is life. But no, they're a good team. I quite like it that they're a good team. They're nice people.
You're quite disconnected, so they're probably better than you. Well, today showed you they're better than you realise, maybe.
Yeah, I think I knew they were competent. I wouldn't have employed them if they weren't competent. But it's just a nice atmosphere. They're just nice people.
Kirsty, that's what it is.
Oh, because they're scared of her. They keep saying that.
It's not just the fear, but yeah.
I think they're just nice people. You wanted me to mention Zoe Ball, didn't you? I've got a question here. Sorry, breathe. End of. Why does a small business need an accountant? And now we have Zoe Ball, and you put the headline: Zoe Ball leaves Strictly, and you've put it takes two, and then you've asked me, what do you do when you lose the talent?
Yeah.
And when we lose talent upstairs, it's always upsetting.
No. I put this in as a threat.
Talent is good. We're always looking for talent in business.
Dude, no, you're totally replaceable.
Oh,
No.
sorry. Graham, were you talking about you?
This is a threat segment, Stephen.
I would be lost if you went.
Somebody's entering a wage negotiation.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, you don't have to pay me any more, Graham. You can stay at the same amount you pay me to come in. Don't worry about it.
I just need people to talk to. That's it.
No, I thought, there's this guy. I saw him looking through the bins the other day, and as I walked past him, he looks at me, and I thought, you know what? He could have some. Let's not go there because I wouldn't replace you with someone that's eating out the bins, Graham.
No.
But we do appreciate you
Got him
again.
coming in on Tuesday, right?
Well, but Zoe Ball, I don't know who she is, and I don't watch Strictly Come Dancing. I don't watch programs like that.
Well,
Shit.
I've
It's
read
not
the
for me.
situation terribly, then, haven't I? In terms of a segment.
I thought you were going to introduce the idea of nurturing good talent and around your business, because having the right people it's just what it's all about.
Yeah.
And when you lose the talent, I thought you were, because I know you wanted Zoe Ball mentioned this because when we put it out there and you do the SEO on this video, Zoe Ball is quite into.
Yeah, she's going to be on the thumbnail for this clip. Yeah, if you are watching this clip, please drop us a thumbs up. Yeah, I appreciate that.
And subscribe to my what's it called? Ring the bell.
It's not quite the format that I was discussing earlier, but we're almost there.
We got there. But no, I don't know anything about Strictly. I don't know anything about Zoe Ball. I think we're always looking for talent. If any of you out there think you can come and run my business better or would make a great bookkeeper for us, I mean, we're always looking for good, strong talent in sales and everywhere else. So that, we'll just do contact me. If you're an idiot, don't. We don't need more of them, do we, Graham? What was interesting? Have you heard of a company or an organisation called BEDSIDE KOSHER?
No.
I
didn't last long.
No, it's
I've
the
never
thing.
heard of them.
Do you know if you've got special dietary, like a lot of Jewish people only eat kosher food?
Yes, I'm aware of the concepts of kosher.
And they're in hospital, or they can't feed themselves, or they've got problems. And hospitals they're not always geared up for kosher food or even halal food or halal. Halal, sorry.
Isn't that basically the same though? If you're sick.
No.
If you just had a heart attack and they're like, we've only got halal, you'd be like, all right then.
Well, if you're dying, then you eat what you eat. But I think people, if they're religious, they keep to whatever dietary they're supposed to keep to. And there's another thing, even if it's not religious, if you grow up on a certain type of food, then then that's what you get used to, and that's what you like. It's probably why you like sprouts so much.
I like sprouts.
Nothing. It's just that I know that you both eat a lot of Sprites by the noises that come over. But
your excuse?
My excuse is good living. But what the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I think I think a great concept, a great way of small businesses doing well is by catering to a niche. I don't mean literally catering and food. I mean just supplying a niche. And the more you can find a niche market, the better you'll do. And it's easier to sell as well. So, but what I found interesting was that they put a promotion on a crowdfunding site, and after 36 hours they've raised £360,000. I mean, I've never done well with crowdfunding. You know,
what are you offering?
No, we've done crowdfunding a couple of times, because we did a few years ago. We were trying to help work with the job centre, and we were trying to get people back to work, and we were training them in bookkeeping and all sorts of things to get them back out and helping them find jobs. And I was funding it myself, and I thought it'd be nice if I could fund this properly and really get it out there, not go beyond just bookkeeping and help people retraining, all sorts of things. It's just something that I quite enjoyed. And we put together a crowdfunding campaign and got nothing came back. I don't know, they obviously didn't like the cause or didn't like me, but yeah. So
hot tub streams, that's what you got to do. That's the meta.
I don't know,
now.
But if anybody would like to set up
I'm
an
not even
academy, we could talk about it, because I've got all the facilities to get it to start it up again. And we got about 90% of the people that came in back to work. We had dozens and dozens of people through the door. So yeah, but eventually I just didn't have the time to manage it. So yeah, but I do like the idea that people can go on crowdfunding sites, and I've seen a few people make a few quid out of it and help businesses get off the ground. So I think that there's something else that's worth looking at, because it does work, and especially at the moment when it's even more acceptable that people more popular, people will fund things online. So it's very well worth doing. What were you going to say?
Can I just say, because we are running out of time there, can we just remind people that there is an audio podcast? Yeah. There's a link in the description. Just go down there. Go down. If you get audio.
You know what? If they want to watch it, they can watch it.
Well, okay. Well, I was going to try and be a little bit more positive than that, but if you want to.
Do you know what I want to happen? do you know what I want to do?
What?
We've got quite a big room in here,
yes.
And we can move some of those couches over there, and we can say we can get a few people in for the live show on Thursdays. So we can start off with maybe a dozen people coming and enjoying themselves, because they can ask me live questions and we can chat, and they can come shortly before and watch us set up.
Yeah.
Then we've got Lorraine and Colin afterwards doing their comedy playing. Yes. Which is great, and then we've got
comedy.
Yeah, playing comedy, and then we've got Hayden's show.
I do prefer
trigger warning.
I do prefer comedy playing. Can I just say though, if we're going to do the 3 podcasts back to back, we'll get a lot more than 12 people in here.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to come along, we're not going to charge you.
Fill the room.
And
whoa! We're not.
Are we going to charge? Well, not yet.
No one's coming in to watch Trigger Warning for free.
What are you talking about? We don't have to charge a lot, but like
5 pence.
Can we?
It was £10 last time.
£10. No, to start off with, I'm thinking on a Thursday night. Well, if you want to stay for Trigger Warning, it'll cost you 10 quid. If you don't, you can come. Just.
Could we just go a little bit of a way so that you stop telling me the rent for this room every time I see you? If we get a little bit of money coming in, that'd be brilliant.
Well, let's get people coming in.
Yes.
Let's get them used to coming in. Let's use. We need some guinea pigs, don't we? So come along and be a guinea pig. And we're not going to charge you. We might put some food out, and if Graham,
what's going on?
No.
Are you a communist?
I'll fill the room. We'll charge a reasonable amount, and you can watch the 3 podcasts. With celebrities.
Yeah. We've got some celebrities coming because you're going to get the good guy in, aren't you?
What?
You're going to get famous people coming in, aren't you? And we can give them autographs.
Yes, Graham.
Yes.
Which famous celebrities are you going to get?
I'm going to get the co-founder of LiveLeak here.
The Queen.
Yeah.
They can meet.
The Queen.
There's a famous comedian. He's called Manford something.
Oh.
We'll be fine.
Are you talking about the Manfords, or are you talking about his brother?
Shush. The funny one. He's
Colin.
Here in person.
Actually, Colin, come and say hello.
Oh God.
Come and say. This is the funny one.
I was trying to wrap this up.
Oh, well, we're going to go in a minute. We're going to talk about suits and all sorts. But Colin, go on. Don't want you too close to me.
Okay.
There we go.
Last time I got her down on the knees, it was a disaster, didn't it?
So Colin's going to be here. Famous, the Manford range. Are we finishing up, or do you want to get a few more things going?
No, we can cover the rest next week. We've got
Okay.
set up for the next podcast.
Thank you very much for joining me. Graham's fed up.
You go now.
Colin's aftershave is overpowering.
I'm not fed
I will
up.
see you all next week. We've got some great podcasts being filmed this week. We've got some great interviews going on, so we'll let you know about them as well. And again, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Good night.